Now let us solve some numericals on steam turbines, which is impulse turbine and reaction turbine both. So let us consider a problem on impulse turbine. The problem is a single stage impulse turbine has a diameter of 1.5 meter and running at 3000 rpm. The nozzle angle is 20 degree. Speed ratio is 0.45. Ratio of relative velocity at the outlet to that at inlet is 0.9. The outlet angle of the blade is 3 degree less than inlet angle. Then steam flow rate is 6 kg per second. Draw the velocity diagrams and find the following terms, which are velocity of whirl, axial thrust, then third one blade angles and power developed by the impulse turbine. These are the things we need to calculate. Now when you have problems on steam turbines, we will have two ways to solve the problem. One is analytical method and another one is graphical method. Among these two, I prefer to choose graphical method, which is very easy to solve. So that is why we will solve all the problems using graphical method only. Okay. Now first let us consider collect the data. In this question, the diameter of diameter of the turbine or rotor is 1.5 meter. Then mass flow rate of steam is 6 kg per second. Then turbine is running with a speed of 3000 rpm. Alpha 1 is 20 degree, which is 20 degrees. So before solving the problems, already we have discussed the velocity diagrams. So if you want to solve the problems, you need to be good in velocity triangles and the terms which are involved in that. Okay, here in the problem here is mentioned where it is 20 degree, the nozzle angle is 20 degree. Okay, nozzle angle is nothing but it is alpha 1. Inlet nozzle angle is 20 degree. Then speed ratio pi is u by v1, which is 0.4 pi. Cb, it is blade ratio, not blade ratio, it is blade coefficient, which is ratio of relative velocity at exit to the relative velocity at inlet, which is 0.9. And beta 2, the outlet angle of the blade is nothing but beta 2 is less than the 3 degree less than the inlet angle of the blade, which is beta 1 minus 3 degree. Now here what we need to do is we need to find out velocity of whirl, axial thrust, blade velocity, blade angle and power developed. Okay, which means that delta vu, it is the net tangential component of absolute velocity or velocity of whirl. Then beta 1 and beta 2 blade angles, Fa axial thrust and P power developed by the turbine. So these are the parameters we need to find. Now first and foremost thing what we need to do here is we need to find out tangential speed of the rotor, which is u, which can be calculated by the formula pi dn by 60. D is diameter of the or mean diameter of the rotor. Pi d into 3000 by 60, which is 235.6 meter per second. Okay, this is what the tangential speed of the rotor, which is very important to draw the velocity diagram. Now velocity of steam at inlet, we know that he has given the speed ratio, tangential speed of rotor by absolute velocity at inlet is nothing but this 0.45. So from this formula v1 equal to u by pi, we can calculate absolute velocity at inlet, which is 523.6 meter per. Okay, now we need to draw velocity triangles. Once you complete the velocity triangles using the given data, we can easily calculate the whatever the parameters he has asked us to calculate. Now first and foremost thing to draw the velocity diagram is we need to calculate the value of Vu, which is tangential speed of the rotor u, which we have already calculated in our earlier slide. Okay, now we need to draw this velocity triangle according to scale. U value already we have calculated by taking a proper scale, or in the graph sheet also you can draw this. By taking proper scale in the graph sheet, first you draw the value of u. Okay, then after that you know that, or we know the alpha 1 angle he has given in the problem itself. You can observe alpha 1 angle he has given in the problem itself. Now from this point you draw the V1, which is V1 value also we know that already we have calculated, and alpha 1. By making alpha 1 and draw the line V1, which is absolute velocity at inlet, from this point. First we need to draw this U. After that we need to draw this V1 using this alpha 1 angle. Now once you complete this, you can join this point to this point here. Once you join this point to this point, and this is the nothing but it is, we already know, we already have discussed, it is relative velocity at inlet, and this relative velocity makes angle beta 1. Clear? Beta 1 is how much it is? 35. We can calculate using the protractor, which is beta 1 is 35 degree. And we also know that beta 2 is beta 1 minus 3 degree less than the inlet blade angle. Now we need to calculate VR1. Blade ratio he has given, VR2 by VR1 equal to something 0.9 he has given. So VR1 value we can calculate using this by measuring this length, and using that VR2 value also we came to know, which is 312. From the graph we can calculate 35 degree beta 1 by measuring using protractor, and VR1 value also we can calculate, which is 312.5 meter per second, and VR2 equal to, using the blade ratio CB equal to VR2 by VR1, that formula VR2 value is 281.3 meter per second. Now from this point, using this angle beta 2, okay, beta 2 angle, draw the 312.5 meter per second this line using, by taking proper scale, draw this line. So once you draw this line, you will get this point, and join this point to this point here. Once you join this point to this point and draw a line which joins this point and this point, you will get V2, which is absolute velocity at V2, which makes angle alpha 2 here. Okay, now after that you join this point and this line, just to extra trace this line and join this line and this line, and similarly join this point and this point. Now as we have already discussed the velocity triangle, this is nothing but it is what it is, Vf1 and it is Vf2. It is tangential speed of the rotor, and Vu1 is the tangential component of absolute velocity. Vu2 is tangential component of absolute velocity at outlet. It is at inlet and it is at outlet. And now this total is delta Vu, net tangential component of absolute velocity, delta Vu. This delta Vu we need to find out. From this point to this point is nothing but delta Vu, which is Vu1 plus Vu2, from this point to this point. Similarly, the height difference between this point and this point, these two apex points you will get once you complete the velocity triangle. These 2 points you will get the difference in height between these 2 points is nothing but delta Vf. This delta Vf and delta Vu value is useful to calculate the parameters what he has asked in the problem. Okay, so calculation of delta Vu and delta Vf is very essential in each and every steam turbine problems. Now velocity of whirl is nothing but it is delta Vu. So delta Vu is nothing but, if you measure this point and this point using a scale and multiplying by the scale, and proper scale we will take now to draw the graph. If you I have taken 50 meter per second equal to 1 centimeter as a scale. So you measure this line, once you complete the triangle, you will get delta Vu value by multiplying the scale what you have taken, and which is velocity of whirl is in this problem is 495 meter per second. Similarly, axial thrust is nothing but we need to calculate using this formula. Fa axial thrust in this problem is equal to m by gc into delta Vf. M is mass flow rate of steam he has given, g 9.8 gravitational constant, and delta Vf we can take it from the graph. Okay, 0.6 centimeter into, by multiplying the scale, which is 30 meter per second is axial thrust. Okay, delta Vf and delta Vf is 30 meter per second and axial thrust is 180 Newton. Similarly, blade angle can be calculated using a protractor from the graph which we have already drawn. Beta 1 is 35 degree, beta 2 is 30 degree. In the problem itself he has mentioned beta 2 is 3 degree less than beta 1, and power developed is nothing but m by gc into u into delta Vu. So U is tangential speed of rotor, M mass flow rate of steam, delta VU already we have calculated from the graph, which is velocity triangle. Now power developed in steam turbine in this problem is 700 kilowatt. Now second problem. The problem is steam issuing from a nozzle to a D level turbine with a velocity of 1000 meter per second. The nozzle is 20 degree. The mean blade speed is 400 meter per second. The blades are symmetrical. The mass flow rate equal to 1000 kg per hour. Frictional factor is 0.8. Nozzle efficiency is 0.95. Then calculate the blade angles, axial thrust, work done per kg of steam, then power developed by the steam turbine. Here in this problem, steam is issuing from a nozzle to a D level turbine with a velocity of 100,000 meter per second. So steam issues with a velocity of 1000 meter per second. It is absolute velocity at inlet, which is 1000 meter per second. And alpha 1, the nozzle angle is nothing but alpha 1. The nozzle angle at inlet is alpha 1, and nozzle angle at outlet is alpha 2. Okay. Then mean blade speed is nothing but U, which is 400 meter per second. Then he has mentioned the blades are symmetrical, means beta 1 and beta 2. Beta 1 and beta 2 angles are nothing but these are blade angles. Blade angle at inlet is beta 1, blade angle at outlet is beta 2. Here blades are symmetrical and hence inlet blade angle is equal to outlet blade angle. Then mass flow rate is 1000 kg per hour, convert it into kg per second for easy calculation. Then friction factor is 0.8. Friction factor is nothing but it is blade coefficient. V, a ratio of relative velocity at outlet by relative velocity inlet is nothing but blade coefficient CB, which is 0.8. Now nozzle efficiency is 0.9. 95% is nozzle efficiency. So using these given data, you need to find out the blade angles, axial thrust, work done per kg of steam, then power developed by the steam turbine. So as we have already seen in the last class, first and foremost thing what we need to do is first collect the data, then try to complete or try to draw the velocity triangle for each and every problem. Once you are done with drawing of velocity triangle, or once you are complete the velocity triangle, then you can calculate any parameter what he has asked in the problem. Now again, this blade velocity, mean blade velocity he has given in the problem itself, U. First draw this U value from this point to this point, it is U. By taking proper scale, draw the value of U. Okay. Once you draw the value of U, then let us see what are the data he has given here. I think alpha 1 value he has given 20 degree. So draw alpha 1. So by making alpha 1 angle, you can calculate V1, because V1 value also he has given, which is 1000 meter per second. Okay. So once you are done with drawing this V1 by making angle alpha 1 from this point, and after that, so you know this point, and just try to join a line which connects this point and this point. So this is nothing but, this line is nothing but it is VR1, relative velocity at inlet, by making angle beta 1. So from the protractor you can calculate this beta 1 value. And now once you calculate this beta 1 value, we know that both are symmetrical. Blades are symmetrical, means beta 1 is equal to beta 2. So now beta 2 value also we came to know, which is equal to beta 1. But VR2 value we don't know. But he has given blade ratio CB equal to VR2 by VR1. VR1 we can calculate using this line by just measuring using a scale and multiplying by the proper scale what you have taken to draw the diagram. And you can calculate, you will calculate VR2 as well as beta 2. Now from this point, by making angle beta 2, draw a line which is equal to VR2. And now you will get this point. From this point, just from this point to this point, just connect these 2 points and you will get a line. This line which connects this point and this point is called V2, which is absolute velocity at outlet, which makes angle alpha 2 here. Now you will get this point and you will get this point. From this point, just draw a line, one perpendicular line which cuts this horizontal line here, and from this point also draw one vertical line or perpendicular line which cuts this point, this line here. And now this is VF1, this is VF2, and in last problem also I have seen this is from this point to this point, it is VU1, which is tangential component of absolute velocity at inlet, and it is v2. From this point to this point, tangential component of absolute velocity at outlet. Now from this point to this one, which is vu1 plus vu2 is equal to delta vu. So once you calculate the delta vu value, now what we need to calculate is from this point to this point there is a difference. There are two apex here. This is inlet velocity triangle and this is outlet velocity triangle. Combined velocity triangle we have drawn. From this point to this point there will be a difference in height. That is nothing but delta vf. Here it is delta vu. So once you are done with calculating delta vu and delta vf value, so by using the formula we can calculate the parameter what he has asked. Okay. Now first one, the blade angles are, okay, by just measuring using protractor we can calculate blade angles, which is beta 1 and beta 2 both are equal, which is 32.4 degree. Now axial thrust Fa equal to m by gc delta vf. Delta vf value we can take it from the graph, and which is 68.2 something, and axial thrust is 19 Newton, and work done per kg of steam is u into delta vu by gc. U value already has given in the problem, and delta vu is nothing but you can take it from the graph. So which is work done per kg of steam is 388.5 kilojoule per kg. Now power developed is nothing but if you multiply the mass flow rate to this work done, you will get power developed, which is 108 kilowatt. Now blade efficiency formula for blade efficiency is 2u delta vu v1 square. Already we have derived this equation, you can go through that, and from this blade efficiency formula you will get blade efficiency is 77.7%. Now stage efficiency is nothing but blade efficiency into nozzle efficiency. Nozzle efficiency is given already 0.95. So total stage efficiency is 73.8. Why stage efficiency is equal to blade efficiency nozzle efficiencies? One complete stage consists of a set of nozzles and set of blades. That is why stage efficiency is equal to blade efficiency into nozzle efficiency, which is 73.8%. Now let us have a look at next problem on impulse turbine. The problem is like this. In a stage of an impulse turbine provided with a single row wheel, the mean diameter of the blade is 1 meter. If it rotates at 3000 rpm, the steam issues from a nozzle at a velocity of 350 meter per second, and the nozzle is 20 degree. The rotor blades are equiangular. The blade friction is 0.86. Determine the power developed if the axial thrust in the end bearing of rotor is 120 Newton. So here also in this problem also we need to draw velocity triangle. If you can complete the velocity triangle using the data what he has given, then we can easily calculate the whatever the data he has asked. So given data are like this: mean diameter of the rotor is 1 meter, speed of rotor is 3000 rpm, then absolute velocity at inlet is 350 meter per second, and alpha 1 which is nozzle angle which is 20 degree, and blades are symmetrical he has mentioned. Okay, you can see here diameter of blade is 1 meter and blades are equiangular, and hence beta 1 is equal to beta 2. Then blade coefficient he has given, or blade coefficient or blade friction, which is VR2 by VR1, which is 86% or 0.86, and axial thrust he has given 120 Newton, but what we need to calculate is here is power developed. So for each and every problem we need to calculate u, which is tangential velocity of rotor. So to calculate the velocity diagram, which is very essential. So u equal to, you know the formula, pi dn by 60. So using this formula we can calculate tangential velocity of rotor, which is 157 meter per second. Using these data, using all this given data, we need to complete velocity triangle, or we need to draw velocity triangle. So let us draw. Okay, again here in each and every case, as we have seen in earlier case, here also first to draw the tangential speed of the rotor by taking proper scale. Okay, so value of u I have drawn. Now beta 1 he has given and beta 2 value he has not given, beta 1 also he has not given, but we can observe in the problem he has given v1 value and alpha 1 value. Okay, v1 value he has given, alpha 1 value also we know. So by using this alpha 1, by making alpha 1 angle, let us draw the value of v1 from this point by taking compass, okay, or scale. Now you will get this point. Once you get this point, just try to join this point and this point. So once you draw, or once you have joined this point and this point, you will get a line called VR1, which is relative velocity at inlet, by making angle beta 1. So this beta 1 angle you can calculate using protractor, and VR1 value you can calculate using a scale. Now he has mentioned in the problem equiangular blades beta 1 is equal to beta 2, which is 35. Now from this point, by making angle 35 degree, just draw the line VR2. Then how to get VR2 value? By using blade coefficient value. Blade coefficient value is 0.9 something he has given. VR1 value we can calculate from the graph, and VR2 value we can calculate from the formula. So once you complete the drawing of this VR2 from this point to this point by making angle beta 2, and you will get this point, this apex point. If you join this point and this point, and you will get V2, which is absolute velocity at outlet, by making angle alpha 2. Now from this apex point, draw perpendicular line which cuts this horizontal line here, and similarly draw perpendicular line from this point which cuts this horizontal line here, and this is VF1, this is VF2, and difference in height between VF1 and VF2 is nothing but delta VF. Okay. Similarly from this point to this point VU1, from this point to this point VU2, and delta VU is nothing but VU1 plus VU2. So you can calculate delta VF and delta VU from the graph. Now power developed formula is M by GC into U into delta VU. U value already he has given, and delta VU value you can calculate from the graph. Similarly axial thrust value he has given. So using this axial thrust value you can calculate, but here you can observe mass flow rate he has not given. Delta VU we know that, U also we know that, and G also we know that. So using this formula you can calculate, but in order to calculate power developed, we know this, we should know this mass flow rate of steam. So to calculate mass flow rate of steam, he has given the axial thrust which is 120 Newton. So from this delta VF value already we have calculated. So from this formula you can calculate M, which is mass flow rate of steam, which is 7.19 kg per second. Note this M value here in the power developed formula, you will get power developed as 360.5 kilowatt. Now let us solve one more problem on impulse steam turbine. Steam flows through the nozzle with a velocity of 450 meter per second at a direction which is inclined at an angle of 16 degree to the wheel tangent. Steam comes out of the moving blades with a velocity of 100 meter per second in the direction of 110 degree with the direction of blade motion. The blades are equiangular. Find the steam flow rate, which is 10 kg per second. Find power developed, power loss due to friction, axial thrust, blade efficiency, and blade coefficient. So let us collect the data first. V1 value he has given 450, alpha 1 he has given, V2 also he has given, alpha dash is 110 degree. So it is a little different here, you can observe. Usually he will give alpha 2 value, but what is this alpha dash is? Alpha dash is nothing but, just read out it is. Okay, steam comes out of the moving blades with a velocity of 100 meter per second in the direction of 110 degree with the direction of blade motion. Okay, if it is with the direction of blade motion, then it is alpha dash. From this side it is. Okay, then which is alpha dash is 110, and if you want to calculate alpha 2 value, it is 180 degree minus 110, which is alpha value, which is 70 degree. Then blades are equiangular, beta 1 and beta 2. Mass flow rate of steam is 10 kg per second, and we need to find all these parameters. Like what we have done in earlier problem, we need to complete the velocity triangle. But here in this problem, he has not given value of u, which is tangential speed of the rotor u. He has not given. So without this value, we need to complete, or we need to draw the velocity triangle. So how to draw is, for the selected scale, first select the scale in order to draw the triangle. Draw V1 with respect to alpha 1. From this point, draw V1 with respect to alpha 1, because alpha 1 value is known and V1 value is also known. Similarly, draw V2 and alpha 2. With respect to alpha 2, draw the value of V2, because both the values we know that. Now what we will do is, by drawing vertical line from this point to this point, you can calculate VF2. Similarly, by drawing vertical line from this point which cuts this horizontal line here, which is VF1 value. Now what to do is, we need to calculate beta 1 and beta 2 value in order to complete the triangle, but we don't know that. What we'll do is, just you draw the VF2 value. This value is nothing but VF2 value, but here we need to trace back the VF2 value here. So let us assume that this is the point of the VF2 value. If you draw the value of Vf2 from this point to this point, you will get this point. Okay, from this point and this apex point also we know that just join this point and this point, and this line cuts this horizontal line here. This is nothing but the value of u here from here to here, and again here you can calculate the beta 1, and beta 1 if you can calculate, you can easily calculate beta 2 because beta 1 is equal to beta 2. And now from here this point already we know that from this point to this point just join this point and you will get beta 2 value as well as Vr2 value. Okay, now from the graph you can calculate u value because diagram is already completed. Now once complete the diagram, calculate u value from the scale and calculate Vr1 value from the scale and calculate Vr2 value from the scale. Beta 1 beta 2 from the protractor, which is 25 degree, you can calculate from the graph itself. Delta Vf 31 meter per second and delta Vu 460. So using these all parameters, delta Vu value and delta Vf value, we can easily calculate what are the data he has asked. Okay, power developed due to friction is m by gc into delta hf. Okay, delta hf is nothing but pressure energy loss due to friction in the rotor. Okay, delta hf is nothing but, if you want to calculate power loss due to friction, so this formula we need to use. In this formula we need to calculate delta hf value, we need to calculate in order to find out power loss. Delta hf is nothing but pressure energy loss due to friction in the rotor. So that can be calculated using this formula. Now delta hf value already we calculated using this formula. Now axial thrust Fa is equal to m by delta Vf. Vf already we have calculated from the graph, which is the 301 Newton. Similarly, rotor efficiency is nothing but, rotor efficiency or blade efficiency is nothing but 2u delta Vu by V1 square. You can calculate, which is 77%. Now let us solve some problems, some reaction turbines. Okay, earlier problems what we have solved were on impulse turbine. Now we will solve some problems, some reaction turbines. The problem is the following data refers to a particular stage of Parsons reaction turbine or 50% reaction turbine. Speed of turbine is 1500 rpm, mean diameter of the rotor is 1 meter, stage efficiency is 0.8, blade outlet angle is 20 degree, speed ratio 0.7. Determine the average isentropic enthalpy drop in the stage. Okay, these are the given data. Using the given data we can calculate tangential speed of the rotor, which is u pi dn by 60, which is 78.54 meter. Now calculate the or draw the velocity triangle. Here all the data are given here. Using those given data we can easily complete the velocity triangle because alpha 1 value, Vn value is given in the problem itself. So you can observe by those given values you can calculate the you can complete the velocity triangle. Once you complete the velocity triangle, you can calculate delta Vu and delta Vf value. These two are very essential values, and beta 1 and beta 2 values also you can calculate. Now the stage efficiency is nothing but work done per kg of steam divided by isentropic enthalpy drop in stage. Stage efficiency value is given, I think. Work done per kg of steam is W divided by delta H dash. Delta H dash is nothing but isentropic enthalpy drop. Stage efficiency is 80%, 0.8 is given. Here this term we need to find out, which is delta H dash. W is, we know that, U into delta Vu. Okay, so work done, formula of work done we already know that. Okay, by calculating the W value as well as the stage efficiency as given already, now we can easily calculate delta H dash, which is isentropic enthalpy drop in the stage. Work done here is 10.39 kilo Newton, I think, kilonewton, and 0.8 is the efficiency of stage. So this is the 130 kilojoule per kg is nothing but isentropic enthalpy drop in stage. Similarly, another problem on reaction turbine. In a reaction turbine, the blade tips are inclined at 35 degree and 20 degree in the direction of rotor. Okay, and the stator blades are the same shape as the moving blades but reversed in direction. At a certain place in turbine, the drum is 1 meter diameter and the blades are 10 centimeter height. At this place, the steam has a pressure of 0.175 bar and the dryness fraction is 0.935. If the speed of the turbine is 250 rpm and steam passes through the blades without shock. Find the mass of steam flow and power developed in the ring moving blades. For each and every problem, as I told you, complete the velocity triangle first using the given data. Here also, using the given data, we need to complete the velocity triangle. You can go for the solution. Beta 1 is equal to 35, which is alpha 2, because this is the condition for reaction turbine or 50% reaction turbine. Beta 1 is equal to 35, which is equal to alpha 2, and speed of the rotor is 250 rpm. Beta 2 is equal to alpha 1, which is 20 degree. This is the condition for 50% reaction turbine. H value, height of the blade is 0.1 meter. Drum diameter is 1 meter. Okay. Drum is nothing but it is a structure where all the blades are mounted. So in order to calculate the mean diameter of the rotor, we need to calculate both. We need to add this both drum diameter as well as height of the rotor. So at certain point P, this pressure and Reynolds fraction X value, find M and P, tangential speed of the rotor. So U can be calculated by the formula pi dm by n by 60. Dm is mean diameter of the rotor is equal to diameter of the drum plus height of the blade, which is 1.1 meter. Area of flow is here pi dm into H, which is 0.3546 meter square. Okay. Now from the graph, if you can complete the velocity triangle, you can calculate delta VU and delta VF, which is 45.45 meter per second. VF1 is equal to VF2, which is equal to VF in this case. Okay. Now from Mollier's chart, at specific volume of steam 0.96 meter cube per kg, corresponding to this pressure 1.7 by 4 and Reynolds fraction X 0.935. Density of steam at that point it can be calculated by density equal to 1 by specific volume, which is 1.042 kg per meter cube. Then mass flow rate can be calculated by density into area of flow into velocity of flow. Okay, which is VF 10.8 meter per second. And now we can calculate mass flow rate M. So once we can calculate mass flow rate M value, so you by putting this M value in the power developed formula M by Gc into U into delta VU, you can easily calculate 2.545. In this problem, what one thing here is he did not give the mass flow rate of the steam. So in order to calculate the mass flow rate of the steam, we need to use this Mollier chart, because he has given the condition of steam at a particular point. Specific volume, Reynolds fraction he has given. At this value of specific volume and Reynolds fraction, there is 1.75 bar, and density of the steam can be calculated.